do you know which game didn't pay their animators well? Wait for it.
キャベツソフト。アメイジンググレイス。
Amazing Grace. The joke being that there aren't any animations in Amazing Grace, except in like there are animations, just not with the character sprites. Oh no. Play the alt. But like, it's such a good transition, man. Fuck you. So fine, I'll show it. Here, I'll yeah, this one. Yeah, that's the only reason is because of the fucking butt jiggle at the start. It is so good. Yep. Anyway, unmute the game. Anyway, last time we played Sakuya and Sakuya and Sakuya, and then we chose Yune. we chose Yune. So either way, let's don the appropriate attire, right? And let's get into it. Listen, the only reason I chose Yune is because I'm going to be choosing Sakuya after. We rejected Sakuya so that we can end the game off with Sakuya. Big brain. Big brain. Anna, what exactly do you mean, Sister Lily? Several seconds pass after Sister Lily hands me the phone. I'm so caught off guard by the name Anna that I don't know what to make of it, but she snaps at me in a panic.
もう何でもいいから早く出てください。そうしないとまたくどくど小言を言われてしまいます。
Sister Lily, okay. Stunned at the sight of such an unusually frazzled sister, I accept the call. Yeah, the only time we've seen her this frazzled was when she got caught eating a hamburger. I tap on the speaker button so everyone can hear what this person has to say, and then... Yeah, that's what I expected. It was fucking Leela. But then the next question is, why the fuck does she know about Shu? Why does she know Shu's last name? How much does she know? That's a trick question. She knows everything. What?
Leela.
What the hell is going on? Before I have time to ask, her voice resonates out from the cell phone. Leela, it's really you? Shouldn't I be saying, like, nice to meet you or something? Oh, he knows Leela. And I mean outside of fucking Aurora Nights or whatever. What are you talking about? Huh? Excuse me? What the fuck? Wait. Nah, dog. What do you mean?
どうして
That's what I'm saying. I didn't say that though. Throughout this whole ordeal, I've never felt as confused and perplexed as I do now. Actually, you know what? It makes fucking sense because of the radio, of what she said on the fucking radio station the one time we tuned in to Aurora Nights during the apocalypse, bro. But she doesn't give me time to get through my get my thoughts in order.
ちょっとリラが聞いてるでしょ。だんまりじゃなくて早く答えて。
Yeah, that's the date I usually restart from, but this time I woke up on November 27th. I'm keenly aware of how people at their wits' end can only deal with whatever issue is most pressing. Hearing my answer, I hear her heave a huge sigh. So many H's. As if trying to calm herself down.
それはね、まずいよ。私は赤じゃないから細かいことは言えないけど、本来のリンゴの量分を明らかに超えてる。
Bro, I was joking that there would be a third pair of people who ate the red and green apple. Right? What are you saying? How does she know all of this to begin with? And who even is she? Despite my seemingly endless questions, I'm more alarmed about the disturbing things she's saying. What's real bad? Tell me what's going on.
時間もないから単刀直入に言おうか。そもそもの話として、やり直しにはリスクが伴う。ってのは OK？
Pause. Dexter, am I right in assuming that Leela also ate a green apple? Because I mean, look, here's the thing, right? I'm not sure, right? If she did, then I mean, there's a I don't remember much about Leela, of course. I mean, here's the thing, right? If she did, there is an easy how do I say this? She must have, otherwise she wouldn't remember anything. Yeah. If she did, then the other person, then the person who ate the red apple is probably Sister Lily, right? I'm not sure. A risk? You mean like Yune losing her voice, or is it something worse than that? I can tell Sakuya realizes she's not just a bystander in this conversation. We wait side by side for Leela's next words.
やり直しは生命のリンゴと知恵のリンゴ、揃って初めて機能する。あ、色は赤と青ね。例えるなら。
Okay, yeah. A bow and arrow.
おう、そうそう。やっぱイメージは共通してるのかな。でね、ともかくこの2つのうち重要なのは弓、赤リンゴの方。弓や矢を飛ばせる代わりに自分自身が飛ばした先に行くことはできない。ここまではわかるね。
Don't call him Tiger. Yes, I'm all too familiar. While Yune as the bow has the power to reset time, she doesn't have the ability to relive the loop herself. That's how it's been this entire time. Feeling like I'm talking to a teacher, I find myself adopting a more respectful manner of speech.
だけどそれじゃ意味がないから、巻き戻した時間の中で動く存在、矢が必要だ。
I mean, listen. She called him Tiger, it just shows her age. That's the green apple. Or me. Me and Sakuya. And I guess Leela? We've been able to travel back to specific dates thanks to Yune and Guido's abilities as bows to manipulate the currents of time.
でも、矢を射るには射手の動力が必要だ。それは理解してる？
Yune always needed to focus herself, much like shooting the real bow, before sending me back.
それじゃあ具体的なことは何も聞いてない？
I mean, no. I didn't even I didn't question it either. What do you mean?
時間を巻き戻すたびに命を消費する点については聞いてないのね。
Of course. Of course it did.
それどういうことですか？
言葉通りの意味。自らが生きるはずの時間を相方に渡してるからそういうことになる。
I mean, it makes I thought so. Yeah, it's a fucking equivalent exchange thing. Kind of. Not really. because Yune is taking a year off her life for Shu to relive a month, right? So then what are the consequences for reliving an entire year?
君たちが食べたリンゴの名前を覚えてる？赤リンゴは生命のリンゴ。文字通り命を使うんだ。
Yep. Okay, so that means there is a limit to how many times we can revisit the past.
一応は。
You don't push yourself too hard.
全然してないよ。ただ7回くらいなら大丈夫だろうなと思って。
So she gave up years of her own life for me. The for now fits. You never told me about any of that.
その子のことを私はよく知らないけど、君のために黙ってたんじゃないかな。だってもう10回以上でしょ。
兄さんもそんなこと私には。
What the fuck? What the hell? We've gone through 11 loops with 11 months each, plus an additional 10 months this time around.
一日をそのまま10日で渡してるわけじゃないはずだ。一日巻き戻すだけでも向こうじゃだいぶ長い間待たされるみたいだからね。
Yeah, I expected that. A much longer wait. Does she mean... Whoa. Interesting. Oh boy. Interesting. Does that mean that every time we looped, she had to stay in here for a full year? Right? Because she has to trade off a year of her life. Which means that she has to spend a year in here or something. Every time I returned, Yune would always be in tears of joy. I had assumed she'd only been waiting for the 23 days I'd been gone, but could it have been much longer than that?
それだけの命をユネちゃんはシュウ君に託したつもりだった。でもそれだけじゃないんでしょ。
I wasn't the only one who quickly deciphered the meaning behind Leela's words.
私。
君は確か。
咲夜さんです。
そうそう、咲夜ちゃん。ごめんね。ユネちゃんはあなたとユウヤも一緒に飛ばし続けてた。つまり単純に考えても負担は2倍。
Yeah. I forgot about that. It wasn't just fucking you. It wasn't just Shu getting sent back. So the extra weight of all this time was.
なんていうかね。こう重いの。
I remember her using that word several times. I'd simply assumed she was referring to the energy she needed with each reset, but I had no idea how serious the toll was.
でもさらにそれだけじゃない。普通あのリンゴを食べてもアドベントをやり直すことしかできない。私の時もそうだった。だからこの場合異端なのは咲夜ちゃんの方だ。リセットの機会を1年間も延長しているわけだから。
Okay, so Leela's also restricted to the 23 days, right? What I'm hearing from her.
待ってください。でもそれって私じゃなくて。
咲夜ちゃんの本当のパートナーは相当な無茶をしてるんじゃないかな。弓としてかなりの寿命を削ってるはず。
Oh no. Just like how Yune and I have been repeating this year's advent, Sakya should have been restricted to only reliving last year's advent. Yeah. Her loop extending to this year's Christmas is how we ended up in our stalemate.
もしかしてあっちにいる兄さんがどんどん変になっていったのはそのせいなんですか？
Yeah, he's gone fucking senile after however many years he's spent bringing you, sending you back 18 fucking times. There's no way Guido, as he is now, can understand anything we're talking about.
兄さんのバカバカバカ。勝手に黙ってそんな無茶。
Damn, I can't believe Sakya swore.
矢はいくらでも補充が効くけど弦の張り替えはできないんだよ。だから打てば打つほど老朽化する。
Yeah, but like, you know, it can be repaired if you're using the same analogy. Having sent both me and Sakya back so many times, Yune's string is already falling apart. Right. So you remember?
あれなんでだろう。
Oh boy. If you're using the analogy where Yune is the string instead of the entire bow, then that isn't good. I remember how absurdly natural it seemed for Yune to suddenly regain all her memories. In hindsight, it was kind of a red flag. At least I know Yune is no longer in that art gallery. With only one life left, she came to meet me in this reality. And she's been hiding the truth this whole time.
待ってください。それじゃあそんな私とシュウ先輩をまとめて飛ばしているユネ先輩は。
Yeah, give me the actual metrics. How many years had she shaved off of her life doing this? In response to Sakya's question, her voice exuding impatience and confusion, Leela falls silent for once. I try my best to keep my legs from shaking. Then
もうダメかも。
he's gonna fucking die.
声が出ないって聞いたよ。もう体に直接的な影響を及ぼしてるレベルなんだ。
This can't be real. So then, what's going to happen to her?
私にもわからないけど、泣きながらチャペルを出て行ったってそこの子に聞いたの。だから見つけてあげな。
Yune,
いつまで私のことを子供扱い。
私も何とかしてあげたい気持ちはあるけど、私にはもう何の力もないからね。何せ片割れがもういないもの。
I'm a shoe without its wearer.
それに私は元となるツリーがもうないから、ユネちゃんの負担にはなってなかったはず。まあその代わりこうして見守ってることしかできなかったんだけど。
She says, her voice fading into silence. I still have no idea who she might be, but I'd like to believe that what she's telling us is the truth.
私の話は以上。力になれなくてごめんね。でも、あなたの戦いはまだ終わってないってこと。
Yeah, and the worst thing is I don't think we as the audience will ever get to know who she really is. Leela, I just want to say thanks. But also, who are you? She chuckles upon hearing my question.
あなたたちの先輩だよ。この町の、じゃないけどね。
I mean, I expect that.
じゃあ、キリエちゃんにもよろしく言っといて。バイ。
And with that, Leela hangs up.
私
What?
私には事態が飲み込めていませんが、どうしても今のことを伝えたかったようです。どうしま。
シュウ君先輩。
Suddenly, the world around me vanishes. Yune. While sending me back repeatedly through time, she's been slicing off years of her life.
でもこれができるのは多分一度きりだと思う。だから。
You know exactly what that meant. Her candle had finally ran out of wax. The fuel keeping her alive was finally run dry, and the loss of her voice is an omen of her death. Standing by the side of Oneto Lake, she looks just like Sakuya described her once, although lacking the divinity she once had. There is an ephemeral fragility about her. I'm surprised I was able to say those words without stumbling, as if she might vanish at any moment like falling snowflakes. Nay. She still has no voice to speak with. Just imagining her standing there is enough to make my chest tighten with sorrow. Seeing that expression on her face makes me despise myself for letting things go this far. You're leaving, aren't you? It's an obvious question. One with an equally obvious answer, which I'm sure she knows I'm aware of as well, considering my presence here. It's all a farce, but I have to hear it from her own mouth, even if she can't say the words. I said this once before. It's my fault you lost your voice, Yune. She watches me without saying a word. From the look on her face, she'd probably still be silent, even if she could speak. I continue. But you said otherwise. You told me it wasn't. We then agreed to accept mutual blame for what happened, and I became your voice. But in reality, none of that was ever true, was it? Yune deflates the accusatory tone in my voice, shooting me a look of denial. But that's all I need. I have to steel myself to say the words I need to. I didn't need to pause between that. The reason why you're like this is because of my own reckless behavior. Why didn't you tell me about any of this? Didn't we agree that we were both to blame? I'm frustrated and disappointed. I thought maybe you just didn't trust me. That's not true. She shakes her head. It's my fault. I thought the cost of resetting the time loop was your voice. But I was wrong, Yune, you...
私としこっての情止めなか。
It's happening again. It wasn't just her voice. Her very existence was fading into nothing. The loss of her voice was only one small part of it. I don't want you disappear. God damn it, typo. I don't want you to disappear, Yune. I'll do whatever I can to help you. So please. I would even give up my own life for yours. I was about to utter those naive and short-sighted words when she gently places her cold index finger on my lips, shutting me up. I'm sorry. I could have easily shaken her off. I could have easily resisted. But instead, seeing that sad smile of hers makes my heart ache so badly, I want to break down in tears. How? How could she smile at a time like this? While telling me she's about to die. It's alright. What's that? She's telling me that everything's okay? Just like always, she reassures me like a parent putting a child to bed. She's telling me that I shouldn't have trusted her so naively. God damn it. The town being saved like this. It's all thanks to you, Shu. If only I knew how to do female voices. So thank you. Tune. She says the town's still here, so there's no problem. But if you disappear, everything I've done will become meaningless. I haven't even given you my present yet. No, you're wrong, Yune. You don't understand anything. All I wanted through all this was a future with Yune, where we could smile together. Using Yune as nothing more than a stepping stone to the future doesn't make me happy at all. Just hearing you say so is enough. For some reason, I can still hear her final words echoing in my head.
Ah, そういえば、まだ一度も言えてなかった。メリークリスマス、シュウ。元気でね。
Like that. Just like snow melting away, her body heat, along with the rest of her, vanishes into thin air. The wind blows. My outstretched hand swipes through empty air. She's gone. There's nothing left. Nothing at all. I feel snow in the palm of my hand. It quickly melts from my body heat. Gone in an instant. Stunned and dumbfounded, I stare off into the distance. I can't even blink. Nothing seems real. I can't tell if what I'm feeling is grief, rage, or hopelessness. It's probably a combination of all three. There was a lot to unpack from this unforgivable situation, but I blame myself the most. As I stand there, unable to do anything, I hear a single pair of footsteps rushing toward me.
先輩、ユネス先輩は。
She asked me between gasps of air, seemingly having run all the way here. I don't have an answer for her.
先輩。
I can't even turn to face her. All I can do is stare at the empty space where Yune was once. Even though there's nothing left of her. She disappeared. Disappeared. Without making eye contact with Sakuya, I forced myself to say those words. Seems to be enough for her to figure the rest out.
そんなのって、私がいたから、私のせいなのに、ヨネ先輩が、なんで。
Even the normally emotionless Sakuya, unable to hold back her own grief. All I can think of is how jealous I am that she has any emotion left to show.
先輩、シオ先輩。
I can't answer her. I can't turn to face her. The first words out of my mouth are of anger. I won't accept this. I won't accept it. I can't. All that self-sacrifice, all those shitty endings. This is too cruel. A prayer. A desperate prayer. More desperate than when Yune cried out to God as the town burned around us. Yune, I would do anything to make you happy. I remember a promise I once made. If she thinks she can run from my promise that easily, she's wrong. We could stop the apocalypse, pull off a successful culture festival, and see out the new year. But what's the point of the world where Yune isn't here with me? I won't accept this ending. My prayer, more desperate than any that came before, will reach the heavens beyond the aurora. Just one more chance. Reveal the final miracle. I know the future we've hoped for still hasn't blossomed yet. This is my final prayer. A blessing for my beloved on this dawnless night, holy night. The final chapter. Amazing Grace.
私は自分の声が好きだった。みんなで賛美歌を歌ったり、クリスマスキャロルを口ずさんだりするのが好きな子だった。本質的には多分今も変わってない。昔から、具体的にいつかは覚えてないけど、チックの頃からお絵かきはそこまで好きじゃなかった気がする。一番下手っぴってわけじゃなかったけど、いつも私より上手な子はいくらでもいたし。でも歌うことにはうまさなんて求められなくて、成績にも入らないから、ただ楽しむことだけ考えてればよかった。
Yikes.
そしたらいつの間にかいろんな声が出せるようになって、そんな自分が少し好きになれてきた。チックにいた頃から仲良しだったのはサクヤだった。サクヤは一つ下の学年だったけど、お互いの友達を連れていつも遊んでた。サクヤもあまり成績にこだわってなかったから気があったのかも。あの子は昔からお洋服にしか興味がなかったから。絵も工作も授業でやればそれだけ上手になってくけど、あんまり楽しかった思い出はないのかも。チックからチベッタに上がったらサクヤとは会えなくなっちゃった。チベッタはチベッタの寮だったし、制服も違うから私だけ大人になっちゃった気がして。チベッタに上がったら前よりもっと勉強を頑張らなくちゃいけないのに、そんなことを思ってたら私たちよりもっと不真面目な子と出会った。私より小さいのに 私より声が大きくて元気って言葉しか感じない子だった。キリエは同級生の中じゃ今でもきっと一番仲がいい親友だと思う。改めて言うような関係じゃないけど、私には理解できないことをいつもしてるけど、それが逆に良かったんだと思う。私も理解されなくていいんだって思えたから。でも私は最低限の勉強はちゃんとしてたからね。絵だって嫌いなわけじゃないから努力はしたし、上手に描けたら嬉しかった。キリエは宿題もやらないし礼拝もサボるし、そこはあんまり一緒にしてほしくないなぁとは思うわけ。そんなこんなで私は聖アレイア学院に入学する。それは専攻。
あ
ここまで進学したらいよいよ自分が何を専門として作るのか決めなくちゃいけなくて、そんなこんなで私は聖アレイア学院に入学する。ここで困ったことが一つあった。チベッタやチックより多様性が認められてたから、キリエの映画なんかもすんなり認められた。けど私はどうすればいいかわからなかった。私にとって自信のあること、心から好きになれることは歌うことだけど、歌は作品にならないから。美しくて形に残る人の作ったものが芸術。私は自然とそう思ってたし、ほとんどの人はそんな定義を持ってると思う。だから最初は一番メジャーな油彩画を選んだ。別にまるっきりできないってわけじゃないし、授業でもちゃんと教わるから。そのおかげで琴葉さんとも知り合えたし、最初はアトリエで居残りしてる私に声をかけてくれたのがきっかけで。私は知らなかったけど、その先輩はいくつもの賞を取ってるすごい人で、丁寧に教えてくれたから絵が少し楽しくなった。琴葉さんとキリエが仲いいって知ったのはその後のことだった。年も違うし、何より性格が違いすぎるから考えもしなかったし。あと次の年に咲夜が入ってきた時も同じことを言ってたけど、2人並ぶとどっちも美人すぎてびっくりした。でもキリエの化けの皮はすぐ剥がれてた。それから幼児と会って、凛花さんと会って、義堂先輩とも知り合って、聖アレイア学院での生活は楽しかった。毎日終わるのがもったいないくらい。でも展覧会と文化祭はあまり楽しみじゃいられなかった。やっぱりそこがみんなとの違いだったかも。1年生も終わりに差し掛かって、私はまだ迷ってた。このまま絵を続けてていいのかなって。でもそんな時に私はシュウ先生と出会った。
Nice to meet you. I'm going to be your new teacher at the academy, although I guess we're both the same age. The school decided to try incorporating music lessons to the academy on a trial basis, which is why I'm here.
変わった人だった。少なくとも先生っぽくはなかった。だからかな。それまで何度も他の先生に相談してたのをもう一回だけ話せたのは。
You don't know what your major should be? Maybe you have such an exceptional singing voice. But you have such an exceptional singing voice. So what if singing isn't a physical art form? Your singing reaches out to my emotions. That's absolutely art.
あっさりしてた。今まで私が悩んでたことなんて何でもなかったみたいに。他の先生たちにもシュウが話を通してくれて。
I'm happy to accompany you on the organ. I'm a huge fan of your voice, Yune. I want to help build your confidence so you can share it with everyone.
私に歌を教えてくれたのはシュウだったんだね。私そのことも忘れてたはずなのに、変なの。気づけば私はちゃんと一人でも歌えるようになってた。絵画や彫刻の授業を受けながら展覧会のたびに新しい賛美歌を練習する毎日が始まって、でもジュノー展なんかではスペースが取れないから、実質的にはイースター展と文化祭の2日だけだったけど、それでも私には自分の声が認められてみんなに聞いてもらえるのがたまらなく嬉しかった。歌の練習は全く苦じゃなかった。
You made a massive impact on her. Yeah. But this was the first timeline. So then how did she get into music in the other timelines? Right?
そうやって私は2度目の文化祭に向けてみんなと頑張ろうって思ってた。その時かな。私はもう一度シュウと出会った。私の人生で一番衝撃だった出来事を挙げるなら、やっぱりシュウと会ったことだと思う。それくらいシュウの印象は強烈だった。シュウ先生も変わった人だと思ったけど、シュウは自分のことまで覚えてなかったから。どっちも同じシュウなのに印象が違うのは変だけど。
What?
日常生活を送る上で考えないようにしなくちゃいけないことなんて心配しなくても誰だって考えないこと。しかもちょうど倒れたシュウを見つける前の日に昨夜とサンタさんの話をしてた。サンタさんは空飛ぶソリでオーロラを越えるのかななんて。シュウが外から来たっていうのは自分でも驚くくらいすんなり信じられた。やっぱり何か違うって思ったのかな。でもシュウはサンタさんっぽくは全然なくて、アレイヤに入って同級生になった時一番しっくりきたのを覚えてる。シュウは私たちにわからない言葉をよく使ったけど、それでもずっといい人だった。何も覚えてないはずなのに私たちにも優しくて、ツリーに飾り付けに行くって言ったらわざわざついてきてくれたんだもんね。それがあんなことになるなんて思いもしなかったけど、あの時私たちは何が起こったのかわからなかったけど、クリスマスの日にようやく知ることになる。思い出したくもない最悪の運命を迎えて。それで私とシュウは運命共同体になった。私が時間を巻き戻してシュウがその中で動く。私本人がそのことを覚えていられないのは想定外だったけど、私が弓でシュウが矢。私は本物の弓矢なんて見たことなかったけど、なんとなくそんなイメージでシュウのことを送り出した。セーブと労働だっけ。シュウが言うにはそういう仕組みに近いらしくて、私たちは12月2日のセーブポイントを利用してるんだって言ってた。もうダメだと思ったのにまたアドベントをやり直せる。信じられない。これはきっと神様がくれた奇跡なんだって思った。でも当の私は置いてけぼりになっちゃって、その度に私はあの美術回廊に一人ぼっちでいるしかなかった。シュウが帰ってきてくれるのは嬉しかったけど、 またやり直さなくちゃいけないんだから、手放しで喜んじゃダメだったよね。そうやってもう一度シュウを送り出したけど失敗で、それが何度も続いて、やっぱり運命なんてなかなか変わるものじゃないんだって思った。それに大事なことは全部シュウに任せっきりで、私にできることなんて失敗のたびに相談に乗るくらいしかないのが辛かった。ずっと私は待ってるだけだったから、シュウがうまくいきますようにって祈って。だからかな、シュウと私が揃って同じことを思いついて嬉しかったのは、それまでずっと私はシュウを送り出すことに重さを感じてた。シュウだけじゃない、もう一人いるからだって思ってたけど、それ以上にリセットをかけるたびに負担がかかるのは最初から気づいてた。でもそれを言ったらシュウが心配するから、私にできることはそれしかなくて、私にしかできないことなんだから、途中でやめるとかは最初から考えてなかった。だからその重さがいくらきつくても私は頑張るつもりだった。そうしてるうちに、もしかしたら私はシュウをもっと前に送れるかも。送れるって思った。だって私はそれまでずっと咲夜を1年前に送ってたんだから、きっと力がついたんだって思った。力がついたのは間違ってなかったけど、自分の体力が持つかどうかはまた別の話だったんだよね。ああ、これで最後かって気づいた。もう戻ることはできないって分かってたけど、あの町が守れるならそれでもいいかなって思ってた。私が祈ったのは私の命じゃなくて、町とみんなの無事だから、シュウなら最後にそれを叶えてくれるんだって。私たちにとって最後の12月は、シュウの言ってた通り今までにないことがたくさん起こった。咲夜がいなくなったり、凛花さんが戻ってきたり、シュウが記憶を思い出したり、私にも初めての変化が起きた。そうしているうちに私はあそこにもいられなくなって現実に落ちてきた。もともと限界だったからすぐに声が出なくなった。でもそれは報いなんだって私は自分でもすぐにそれが分かったから、シュウには言わないつもりでいた。だけど言っちゃったよね。ようやく迎えたクリスマスじゃ、リリー先生とシュウがまるで答え合わせするみたいに私の知らないことを教えてくれた。記憶を思い出してからのシュウはちょっと別人みたいに見える時もあったけど、忘れてる時よりちょっとかっこよかったかな。それであの時のシュウを見たら分かった。運命を変えてくれたんだなって。だからやっぱりシュウに任せてよかったなって、そう思ったから笑顔でお別れできたの。嘘じゃないよ。
That's right. It wasn't a lie. The curtain on my Yune's life should have closed, and the town and everyone in it was supposed to live happily ever after. It was a shame I never got to perform at the culture festival, but that was just another sacrifice I had to make. Imagine all this was unvoiced. I mean, I already experienced that in fucking Isekai. So she knew she was sending Sakuya back. Yeah, that line was confusing. I don't think she did. I think she is just... I don't know. And yet, despite all that, Yune, I wonder, why can I still hear Shu's voice? You can't ignore me. I know what amazing hearing you have.
シュう
I could speak. No, I probably didn't speak with my actual voice. But it doesn't matter, because Shu could just look at my face and know what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say. It's pretty impressive. You know, you always knew the cost of your life, but never said anything, and I never noticed.
私何も言ってないのに
Carrie will be furious when she hears you easily saw right through her act for sure.
どうしてそんなの聞いてるの
I'm not sure. It's like all of your life experiences flowed into me. Yeah, but like, why is it the red text box if that's the case? I thought we were seeing all of this from Yune's perspective, but if Shu saw all of it, why is it red box?
それにここあれ私もう戻れないと思ってたのに
We're back in that art gallery, far from reality, where I always waited for him. It's a space I never thought I could return to after wearing out my bowstring. Why it red? Because we're seeing this from Yune's perspective. Shu smiles gently at me, like he always does. It's time for us to swap shifts. You don't belong here anymore.
交代
It's just like Shu to use a phrase that I don't understand. It's so unfair. He always knows so many things that I don't.
どういうことシュ私たちまた戻ったの
Yes, we are. But only a little bit. And this time, you don't have to do anything. He suddenly strikes a bizarre pose. Has he lost his mind or something? Let's see. How did that go again? It's like pulling back on a bow, right?
シュ何を言ってるの
He doesn't answer. Not verbally, at least. His expression seems to say, you'll understand soon enough.
私だってシュの顔見たら言いたいことなんかわかるんだから自分だけだと思わないでよね
I might have amazing hearing, but I don't need to hear anything to know what he's thinking. That's why I find his current expression so unsettling. It's like he's putting on a brave face to reassure me.
シュやめて行かないで何するのかわかんないけど私怖いよ
It'll be fine. It's just a bit of a gamble. It's not like I've got anything left to lose anyway. All that's left is to wait to see if the goddess smiles on us or not. And with that, he holds his hand out to me. Let's go, Yune. I'll send us flying out of here.
シ
I have no idea what I should do anymore. I figure all I can do is follow his lead, like I've been doing all along. Trust him fully. Just like on that day. It's back to Shu's perspective again. The dazzling white light that engulfs us reminds me of the Advent night, that now feels so long ago. And then One final miracle appears before us. It's not the red apple that Yune ate, or the green apple I ate. Instead, it's a golden apple, a symbol of immortality. No, I'm not making a Minecraft reference.
黄金のリンゴ。それは最も美しいとされる女神に贈られる不死の食べ物。
When did I first hear that? A story I heard once so long ago that I forgot about it suddenly springs to mind. Is it really okay if I go too? It won't cost me my life or any part of it. Have we really been blessed by the miracle of a golden apple? This might be our last hope, and knowing that, we won't need to try to fix things anymore.
シュウ、嫌だよ私。もうシュウと会えないなんて。
I feel the same way. A world without you in it is worthless to me. You know, should know better than anyone what we've been fighting for all this time. If there's a chance her prayers were finally heard, then this apple must surely be a gift from God.
シュウ、
Yune, the forbidden fruit falls between us, squeezing each other's hands, like we'll never let go. We entrust ourselves with this final gospel. Let's go back to our Christmas. And thus, where is the appearance of God? It's the feathers.
え、
A half-eaten apple pie has been left right in front of us. $12.24. They went back a day. I open my eyes. A familiar clamor echoes around me as my distant consciousness becomes attuned to reality again. You didn't hear that. Did it work?
シュウ。
Yune is the first one to reach out to me, who feels like I'm waiting to get test results back. Seemingly surprised at the sound of her own voice, she slaps a hand over her mouth.
私、今、声。
Thank goodness. It's really back. I think this is the most appropriate this is the most appropriate time to say thank God.
シュウ。うん。声だけじゃなくて、ここって、なんで？
I'm still not completely convinced we succeeded, but Yune seems even more confused and flustered. Yune not the only one either. Yune's not the only one either. Everyone else too.
あれ？私らさっきまで外いたはずなのに。それだけじゃないね、キリエ。この並べられた料理ははっきり見覚えがあるよ。
あり？俺高野菜してたはずなんだけど、あれ？
It seems like everyone remembers. I open my right hand before squeezing it into a fist. I make sure my body is working properly before looking into everyone's faces one by one. While everyone else seems puzzled, one person seems to grasp the situation. Everyone been pulled back. Yeah, that's the power of the golden apple. That's the power of the notch apple. I mean,
シュウ、お前まさか。
do you know what's going on?
なんとなくな。 しかし、とんだ無茶をしてくれたようだ。
Hey, I got God's permission, all right? And I don't think there is anyone else who I need permission from other than the man upstairs, all right? There's no way our friends can ignore Guido's words and the knowing look on his face.
おいおいシュ、どういうことだよ。ギドもギド、おめえさっきの爆弾どこやったんだよ。
もうない。いや、まだないと言った方が正しいか。
And I guess Sakuya is back to wherever the fuck she is. The man downstairs is standing up for Kyrie. Excuse me? There's a reason why only Guido knows the truth. Because apart from Yune, he's the only one trapped in the same situation as us. Listen up. Since you all seem so confused, I'll explain one aspect of the situation. All eyes are on me after that leading sentence. Since I'm the one who caused this mess, naturally any explanation is my burden to bear. Today is December 24th, Christmas Eve.
イブってどういうこと？
Quiet confusion turns into a cacophony of chaos. We've caught up in a whirlwind of surprise, on par with the festival atmosphere in the room. We're caught up.
私たちはさっきまで公園にいて、アポカリプスを止めて、だから文化祭もあって。そうだよ、クリスマスだったんだ。でも今日はイブって。
Kyrie Kota. This is exactly what I've been trying to tell you all along. There's a chance Yune already noticed. Now you're both time travelers, just like me.
Nah!
Except you only got a day. We all got a full-ass month. Shu got a full-ass month, and Sakuya got a full year.
いやいや、なバカな。確かにシュは前そんなこと言ってたけど。
でも確かにこれは。
Christmas Eve, I know. And we're in the very middle of it. You know, who knows about the miracle suddenly realizes the impetus behind it and cries out.
アップルパイ。
They got months and year while you got a day. Yeah, they actually got the Groundhog's Day. Yushu got the Groundhog's month, and then Sakuya got the Groundhog year. Hogs. Fuck. Correct. I made this apple pie, which is an integral part of each Christmas Eve party. What? The apple pie currently placed in the middle of the table we're sitting around. Wait. Here's the thing, right? Because... Well, first of all... He made it, right. Hang on. He made the apple pie with the fucking apples that were made on Advent, right? Right? he made the fucking apple pies, the apple pie with both apples. Right? I think that's how I think that's what's going on.
このアップルパイに青リンゴが入ってるんだ。
Right. It's the kitchen staff to make this for us specifically. Motherfucker! This is a special pie. It looks pretty normal to me. Actually, a single praline is hidden amongst these 6 slices of pie. Fuck. So it's all luck as to who finds it, huh? But what do you get if you win? What do you think? King of a king for a night?
入ってるのはプラリネじゃなかったのかよ。
It got pralines too. I don't know how to pronounce it.
ん青リンゴ
I'm still unsure if this will actually work, but this seemed to be the only way I could share the apple equally among us. Among us? Of course, we only had enough for one pie, but there was enough for everyone here to get one slice. So, okay, so it wasn't both apples. It was only the green apple.
でもクリスマスからイブに時間が戻ってるってことは。
シュウ、今年赤リンゴを食べたのはお前だな。
Yeah, right? He still... That means Shu still ate the red apple. Well, not still. He ate the red apple. He put memory apple. Yeah. So he sent everyone back to Christmas Day. Christmas Eve, because that's when they ate the green apple. That's right. For the first time, I was able to relive December 2nd, the day we originally ate those apples. As such, we were able to pick that miraculous apple once more.
そういえばシュウ、あの時リンゴは取ったけど食べなかったよね。
So he ate red instead of the green. Yeah. Yeah. Which means that he was able to send them all back. But then, okay, well, actually, that's the other thing, right? Sakuya isn't affected because he also ate the green apple. But how does Sakuya fit in this? Because she didn't eat the apple pie. Did she have to relive? did she have to go back another year? Right. You told me it was too dangerous to eat. You know, still didn't remember anything at the time. So I have to reaffirm certain facts. I kept that apple frozen outside this whole time in order to preserve it, waiting for the right opportunity to come along. Of course, it would have been great if we didn't need to reset time again, but it's too late for that.
シュウ、
No matter how many times I stop the apocalypse, I won't accept the world without you in it, Yune. That's why we're back here. Christmas Eve. My new save point. Yeah, but like, how does that reset Yune's condition? Right? The day that all of us ate the miraculous apple together. I bite into the red apple. And everyone else eats their slice of pie filled with green apple. The golden apple. Yeah, I guess. I created a situation. I created a situation where I control time and everyone else relives it. As the bow I shot everyone back a day, it was the best I could do. In other words, I turned everyone into arrows from my bow. If I can't fix the bow, then you have to get a brand new one. I mean, yeah, if we're using that analogy of the red apple being the bowstring, then the bowstring was just replaced by Shu, as Shu. One of those. Hence me dragging Yune back from that distant subspace. It was time for a shift change. She did the best she could as a bow, to the point where she had no strength to launch it, no strength left to launch new arrows. She needed someone to take over as the bow. Still, it was a complete gamble whether it would work or not.
シュウ
Even as the words left my lips, I can't shake the fear that continues to grip me. No wonder Guido called it dangerous. But I'm ready to face any repercussions that might come my way from my reckless behavior. However, everything's okay. You know that, right? Golden apple. The apple gave us a much needed push in our time travel journey. The food of immortality reserved for the most beautiful goddess. It definitely fell into our hands that time. Pretty sure I can't exactly compare it. I can't exactly compare to Paris, though. I chuckle at my own audacity, but it's a pleasant feeling. It's finally over, and filled with a sense of accomplishment and a strange emptiness.
じゃあシュウの巻き戻しに私たちが乗っかってるってこと？
Correct. Although I only set time back one day. Or rather, because it was only a day, I was able to send everyone back. Yune is no longer the bow that can fire us back in time. Since I'm still in the arrow, I have the ability to perceive time travel. Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Just because he ate the red apple this time doesn't mean he still doesn't have the powers of the green apple. Right? No, he ate the apple pie as well. Right? Ah. Which means he had both these miraculous apples that transcend human knowledge. Despite having borrowed so much power from them in the past, it was still a huge gamble to see if our logic held this time. However, I'm glad everyone seems to be alright.
何度も話として聞いてたとはいえ、実際こう自分の身に起こるとなると。
なんだか信じられないね。奇跡のようだ。すげえ、すっげえ。私たちあんなになっちまった。
Unable to shake their lingering doubt, Kotaha and the rest of our friends excitedly call out to their classmates, still unable to fathom that today is the 24th. Just then,
先輩。
oh my. Is this is what she was wearing? This is what she's been wearing? But what the trade-off of sending multiple people back? Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Because you've got the fact that the weight of the bow is heavier because of the multiple people, right? But because it was only a day for most of them except her, Miss Girl on screen at the moment, it's not as heavy, I guess, as Yune's. Right? So I guess. The missing link appears, albeit slightly late. Honestly, she came pretty quick considering where she was. She must have run the whole way based on how out of breath she is.
先輩。皆さんも。
Yeah, but that's the thing. Because, okay, here's the thing. God damn it. I'm thinking, right? Because I'm like, why wasn't she already in the cafeteria, right? Maybe. No, I know why. She essentially just relived the exact same events that happened this loop last year. I fucking... After bursting in, she slowly approaches the table where we're all sitting. Her sudden appearance causes a commotion to begin growing in the students around us naturally. She's been missing since the beginning of the month. A student rumored to have been abducted by Bad Santa. I mean, she does look pretty bad. Never mind. It's no wonder her acquaintances would be shocked to see her suddenly barge in on Christmas Eve. And yet she walks over to us, ignoring the excited chatter around her, and what awaits her is... Yune throws her arms out wide and hugs Sakuya with surprising strength. Come to think of it, this is the first time they're seen each other in a while. Yeah, that is the unfortunate part. The last loop, they didn't get to see each other once. Who is your favorite now? It's still Sakuya. And I mean, what she's wearing doesn't help. No, I mean, no, it does help. Very much so. Did the ranking change? Hang on. If I look at the ranking, has it changed? I mean, yeah. Considering Rinka hasn't shown up since fucking, you know, it's... I guess you could say it's changed. Until Rinka comes back, you know. She turns and glares at her brother, and underneath her withering gaze, Leela? Leela hasn't even fucking appeared in person, and I don't think she ever will. So she won't get a ranking. Guido speaks his words tinged with a feeling of acceptance.
ここへ来てのやり直しまではさすがに予想していなかったな。
Guido, we made it back to the 24th, which means we'll experience the 25th again. Maybe in Yune's or Sakuya's after story, I hope. Then she can actually get onto the rankings. Same Christmas we've relived so many times.
ギド、たとえ時間が戻っても、私たちから君に言うことは変わらないよ。
Yeah, it also doesn't change that OBS is fucked. But if she wasn't in the main story... I mean, yeah, at that we will have a sprite. Yeah.
そうだぞこのバカ。あれなら好き勝手脱がれた方がまだマシだぜ。
あまりなじってくれるなよ。今の俺には心地いいくらいだ。
I would also prefer nudist Guido over terrorist Guido.
兄さん。
分かっているよ。ああも正面から否定されたんだ。いつまでも失敗した作品に肯定するのも美しくない。
The only beauty. Never mind. No. the only beauty is Sakuya. I would prefer dead Guido who threatened Kyrie. Yeah, but like he has bipolar. He holds his hands in front of himself, placatingly, as he immediately stands up and faces us. There is nowhere for him to hide or escape to. And then, as if to assure us that he will never do the same thing ever again.
みんな、本当にすまなかった。
He bows his head deeply.
無論これで足りるとは思っていないが、また後でお前たちの元へ伺って、それぞれ話そうと思う。
Also, he killed Kyrie. Yeah, but like, he did that in the other timelines, alright? And Kyrie doesn't know, alright? Kyrie doesn't know that he did, alright? He didn't feel anything.
だな。今は前夜祭だし。
So, I know. Yeah, but like, don't worry about those, alright? In Kyrie's route, she wasn't blown up by Guido, and so it doesn't matter.
楽しい席で辛い話をすることもないか。
Seeing her hat gives me PTSD. Just don't think about it.
なになんでギド先輩謝ってんの？
He was running around naked again.
だよ、いつものことじゃん。アップルパイもう一回食えるだけラッキーだって。
Yuji has no idea what's going on, but that's fine. I want Guido to remain the same man he always was in Yuji's eyes. Okay, you know what? Maybe, you know what, Dexter? Maybe you were right to ship Guido and Yuji in your chatbot.
ただ、これだけは言っておこう。俺が目指していたアポカリプスという作品は、もう作らない。いや、作ってもしょうがないものだと分かった。二度とあんな真似はしないと誓おう。
Dexter, you didn't need to clarify in MKC. I already knew what you were talking about in the first sentence. Just like Uta when it isn't her route. He looks into each of our eyes, in turn as if to further prove his sincerity. He honestly believes things are now even between me and Guido, and I'd prefer to leave his judgment in everyone else's hands.
当然だぜ。
食べるか怒るかどっちかにしなよ。
Yeah, but this is the other thing, right? This is going on. This scene is before they've finished eating the pie, right? Because he said at the start there's a half-eaten pie on the table, which means that only 3 of the slices were eaten before. How does that work? I see a plot hole here.
俺まだよくわかんないこと多いっすけど、ギド先輩がおかしいのはいつものことなんで、次やばいことになりかけたら俺が止めてあげますよ。
ありがとう。だが、もうその心配はない。そんなことをすれば妹に何を言われるかわからないしな。
やれやれですね。
妹？ギド先輩の妹って？あ、昨夜さっき兄さんとか言ってたよな。
Yeah, but aren't you gonna point out that they look nothing alike?
幼児、その話多分長くなるから、ちょっと黙ってよ。
Like, Kyrie and Yuji could pass off as siblings. More than Sakuya and Guido.
なんでだよ、気になるじゃんかよ。
それでも信用できなければ、今日から俺のことをすまきにして放り出しておけ。明日さえ過ぎれば俺はもう無力だ。
Just like Yune, he lost his ability to time travel after eating the green apple, or at least he should have. So no matter how hard he prays, he won't be able to reset time by even a second. They're more alike than the actual siblings. Exactly. Because they both have blonde hair. He's back to normal in that regard.
少し夜風に当たってくる。前夜祭もまた今夜限りなのだから、皆で楽しんでおいた方がいいだろう。
With that, Gedo leaves the cafeteria. No voices follow in his footsteps, asking him to wait or come back.
ごめんな。
Their eyes, I kind of forgot the color of their eyes. That's why I only pointed out the hair. Gray and violet. Yeah, you know, like the color of Sakuya's pink hair and Gedo's black hair. His whispered words, perhaps directed at the people around him or the town itself, are drowned out by the sound of merriment.
すみません。後を追ってきます。
Wait, Sakuya,
大丈夫です。私は前夜祭何度も楽しませてもらってますから。
as a sister, she's worried about him in many ways.
なんだ、昨夜も言っちゃったのか。じゃ、このケーキもうらい。
残しておいてやれよ。
With Gedo and Sakuya gone, everyone slowly settles into the festive atmosphere of the night. Why wouldn't they? It's a path we've been down once before. Except for one of us, that is. Yune.
あ、うん。
Having been pulled back from the brink of death, she seems dumbfounded, like she can't find her footing. There are too many things I need to tell her. I can't thank her enough, and there are not enough apologies either. But the way she is right now, I don't think the time is right for either option. You know what this means, right? Christmas is tomorrow, and the actual culture festival. The most important thing now is tomorrow. It won't be the same Christmas where things always ended until now. And after that, the day after Christmas is waiting for us. It's going to be our time to shine. We've got our voices. We've got your voice. You've got your voice back.
うん。
He bounces right back. Her smile so bright it's almost dazzling. Good. Then let's wake up early tomorrow so we can practice. It's been a while since you sang.
わかった。シュウ、ありがとう。私、まだ自分の心が整理できてないんだけど。
Yeah, well, you don't have a choice. Once this is over, we'll have time to talk again, okay? For now, let's just get you calmed down.
そうだね。うん。じゃあ、今日はしっかり休まなくちゃ。
For us to have the perfect culture festival, it's a miracle we've looked forward to. It's a miracle we've looked forward to for so long. Full of gratitude toward this apple, which answered our long-held prayers. We spent a sleepless night together, almost like kids eagerly waiting for Santa Claus. But right before, something happened that I have no intention of telling anyone. Excuse me?
悪いな、遅くなって。
No problem. I couldn't sleep anyway, so it's no big deal. It's around 11 at night. Guido wanted to see me, so I slipped out of the dorms.
リンカと少し喧嘩をしていてな。時間を食いすぎた。
So Guido and Rinka met, huh? You ended up arguing with her, huh? He's been meeting with everyone one on one, in order to apologize for what he did and offer explanations. Although Rinka didn't eat the green apple, thus leaving her in the dark concerning the time travel, she and Guido are childhood friends. She must have known something was up, if not what.
バカにしてんのかとキレられた。
Did you tell her about your jealousy over her work?
絵でも彫刻でも、俺の方がよっぽど美麗なものを作れるくせに、自分なんかに嫉妬するなんて冗談も大概にしろ、とな。
Uh-huh. Sounds about right. It'd be fair to say the only two people who truly appreciated Rinka's work and viewed her as a genius were Guido and Kotaha. Rinka herself likely never considered her own work to be all that great.
自分が嫉妬する側ならわかるけど、だとさ。相変わらず差異はあっても何も理解していないようだから、俺が奴の作品の素晴らしさを説いてやった。
What kind of fight did you two get into?
ただリンカは言ったよ。外の世界じゃ美しくない芸術なんてありふれてる。むしろ陳腐だって。
True. Her modern art is not beautiful outside. It's just boring. He is kind of right. The modern art, which is the dominating form of expression now, has almost no rules. Rinka's breakthroughs as an artist are akin to Duchamp's work in the last century. Artists today have to try and etch out what art means to them from this far too vast framework.
だからお前は分かっていないんだと言ってやった。このオーロラの中でその価値観にたどり着いたことがどれほどの偉業かと。
Artists in the 1900s refused to call modern artists in the same way that people who use AI to make art, in the same way that artists today refuse to call people who use AI artists. I mean that's also a good point. Rinka, who dared to deviate from the common definitions of what art should be, is an unquestionable genius in her own right. That all the students here in this town have a strong artistic background only makes her genius all the more remarkable. Of course, that doesn't diminish Guido and Kotaha's accomplishments, both of whom produce masterpieces within the framework of classical art.
そしたら今度は俺の作品がいくらで取引されているかを熱弁しだしたよ。数百万と言われても正直ピンとこない。
AI artists, I would say, right? Wow. From everything I've heard, I always felt the two operated on different wavelengths. Enough to spark arguments, I guess.
あいつもな、外に出てからも制作は何個か行っていたようだ。
Huh? She did? I didn't know about that. So when HoloCure? When's the next update? Because that's when I'll play it.
なかなかうまくいかないとは言っていたが、あいつは自分の作品さえ見る目がない芸術音痴だ。当てにはできん。それにな、この町でリンカの作り出した芸術が外でありふれたものだとしてもだ。今のあいつはそのことを知っているんだ。もしかするとあいつならまた新しい破壊を起こすかもしれん。現代の芸術という概念さえ飛び越える何かで恐ろしい。
Rinka might be a year older than me, but is still quite young compared to other artists. Kito's right about his statement regarding how promising her future appears to be, which is why he described it as terrifying.
本来なら嫉妬すべきはずなのになぜだろうな。それを思うと心が躍る。
Rinka must have planned or must have a plan or something, right?
俺もそれを聞こうとしたが、
But
その時チェックメイトした。だから話はそこで終わりだ。
huh? You two were having a conversation while playing chess? Of course they were.
ああ、時間もなかったからな。どうしても早急に蹴りをつけたかった。
Or the two of them to discuss, for the two of them to discuss art while engaged in a highly strategic and psychological game like chess. I can imagine how heated things got. Even the pieces probably wanted to flee the scene. If I remember correctly, you two were tied at 99 wins and losses each. So who won? Don't you dare tell me it's a fucking stalemate. In that moment, he looks happier than he ever did on completing the art piece.
完膚なきまでに叩きのめしてやった。外じゃ相手がいなかったんだろうな。ザコメ。
Okay, thank God that it's not like, oh, we stalemated, so we have to do it again. Oh, you must be happy about that. He says he demolished her, but I have a feeling it was a pretty close match. I won't press the issue, though. Even I can read the room sometimes.
本気で悔しがるあいつの顔を見れた。それだけで俺の留飲は下がった気がしたよ。
But you know this means war, right?
おそらくそうだろうな。まったく負けず嫌いというやつには困ったものだ。
I almost want to tell him to look in the mirror. It's almost like he tries to set himself up like this. How did it go with everyone else?
切り絵は1分で終わったよ。土下座をしようとしたら尻を蹴っ飛ばされた。
We know a lot of tough, reliable women.
そんなんいいから今後の態度で示せとな。正論だけにキックより聞いたよ。
That sounds like her.
琴葉とは25日にも意見をぶつけ合ったから熱くなるようなことはなかった。ただ粛々と謝ったよ。そうしたらキリエと同じことを言われた。時々あいつらは姉妹なんじゃないかと思うことがある。
Well, yeah, considering that the entire time Kiria was faking her personality about loving explosions to fucking trap you, to trick you. I know what you mean, although they look nothing alike. Like you and fucking Sakuya. What? Like him and Sakuya. Though, to be fair... Fuck off! To be fair, Gino and Sakuya don't look that much alike either! Fuck you! We walk together, disrupting the silent night with our laughter. Oh, like the music in the background. See, Silent Night is the name of the song. Silent Night, Holy Night, I guess.
ユネにもあった。俺が最も頭を下げるべき相手だ。
Yune only maintained her time travel powers because of Guido's actions. Suffice to say, everything she has gone through up to this point were directly brought about by Guido himself. However,
殴ってほしいと本気で思ったのは初めてだった。
Yune would never do something like that. It's hard for me to imagine Yune slinging insults or blaming him for anything. Which probably was the harshest punishment Guido had to endure thus far. What did she say?
優しかった先輩に戻ってよかったですと。それもいつもの調子でだ。笑いながら俺を何一つなじることなく。
She wouldn't. That's very like her.
俺はもう二度とあいつを裏切れない。これから先ずっと贖い続けるしかないんだ。
Yune is a truly good person at heart, although sometimes to a fault, and at the expense of her own well-being. Like Sakuya. I'm not sure whether to call it motherly love or affection. But either way, her reaction is exactly how I'd imagine her to behave.
シュウ、お前はずっとあいつのそばにいてやってくれ。俺のような人間が言えたセリフじゃないがな。
I'm not sure what you mean.
何を今さらしらばっくれている。明日プレゼントを渡すんだろ。
You know that you know these four lines could also work with Sakuya's route. God damn it. What the fuck? How did he know about that? There's also a chance he's just talking out of his ass. That's right, because tomorrow is Yune's birthday and Christmas.
伝えたいことはちゃんと言葉にしないと伝わらない。応援しているし、なんなら手助けもするぞ。
I'm good, thanks. He obviously can see right through me. This is the type of behavior I'd expect from a classmate who's both older and wiser.
幼児もあまり変わらない様子だったな。自分の知らないところで何かが起こったことは察していたようだが。
Yeah, but like technically you're the same age as him because you've essentially lived through an entire year, you know, by reliving the month.
それでも何も聞かれることはなかった。あいつだって知りたいはずなのに。
Yuji. His gay lover. It seems like he accepted being purposefully kept in the dark about everything. All I feel is gratitude that he respected our wish to keep him from getting tangled in this mess and to not ask any questions.
飲めるようになったらいつか酒の魚にしようと約束したよ。当然その時はシュウも同席だ。
That's gonna be a while. Of course, anytime. The girls, though.
あいつらは全員シュランだからダメだ。
They've been drunk before? Don't I know it? We naturally made our way toward the Christmas tree, and before we knew it, it towered over us. Having reached its destination, Guido sits down on a stump.
そしてシュウだ。
Yep. We sit together on adjacent stumps, gazing up at the night sky so full of stars. I know someone somewhere else is looking up at the same sky. Looking down, the aurora is a blip, nothing more than a slight obstacle.
何から話せばいいかだな。 紋切り型の謝罪では何も伝えられる気がしない。
You don't have to make it fancy.
そうか。なら、すまん。
Alright, and that's it. Okay, maybe a little fancier than that.
難しいな。
I can tell he's not trying to gloss over what happened. It's just that he's far better at getting good grades than human interaction. Yeah, he's book smart, not street smart. He's a bit autistic if you... If he truly is sorry about what he did, one or two word apology won't be enough to convey his true feelings. Don't call me out.
俺はシュウたちを殺そうとしていた。ユネも、キリエも、コトハも。
Don't I know it? And Sakuya and Shu are the only two people who know how many times he did it. Tried to do it. Yeah, not exactly your finest work.
これから先、俺は一生かけても償い続ける必要がある。そして、その機会を与えてくれたのはシュウだ。いくら謝っても、いくら礼を言っても飽き足らない。俺は、アポカリプスという作品を作ることで救われると思っていたんだ。凛花と比較して分かった歪小な己をその歪んだ美学によって肥大化させようとしていた。自分で至った境地ですらないというのに。浅はかだったよ。誰も遊んだことのないおもちゃを手渡されて、俺はその危険性に気づきながらも溺れてしまった。
Guido, I have a kind of stupid question for you.
なんだ?
It's definitely a stupid question, but I tried to make it a bit easier to stomach. Still, then, with just the two of us, I knew he'd forgive me no matter what I said. Does being a brilliant artist really make that much of, mean that much to you? To someone like Guido who grew up here, it's probably a basic assumption he doesn't give a second thought to. But to an outsider like me, it's not, which is why the question has been nagging me this whole time. Can you only achieve success by personally killing your friends and destroying the town you all grew up in?
芸術家であることがそんなに大事か。率直に答えるなら、俺にはまだわからん。
Yeah, but you were sure enough to kill yourself.
俺はみんなに説得されて道を踏み外さずに済んだ。だが、アポカリプスを成して満足していた俺だっていたのかもしれない。少なくとも学校では、そんなに大事と教わる。ここではな。
Producing world-class artists. The town was created with that singular goal in mind, so it's no wonder Guido was raised to embrace that mindset. As weird as he may be, it's also dedicated to a fault. He's also dedicated to a fault. And just like everyone said, he's far too inflexible to deviate from his predetermined path.
だが、誰かに規定された価値観にすがり続けることも、また愚かなんだと気づいたよ。誰も生み出せない芸術を切り開きたいと願っていたのに、俺が最も固定観念にとらわれていた。
In a sense, this town is a cage that traps people in their own prejudices. An environment deliberately crafted to prioritize art at the expense of everything else. This town is what led to the birth of Guido as a monster. I don't think it was just the town, I think it was just getting brainwashed by the fucking headmaster. Granted, I'm not saying that that absolves him of what he did.
何が正解かは誰にもわからないものなんじゃないか。人生を終えて振り返らない限りは。
Yeah, it was also Shu's dad that brainwashed Guido by showing him the picture of Cross's Lost Paradise. picture, painting.
ただ、一度歩みを止めて、自分の力で考えることはしなくちゃならない。それに関してだけなら、切り絵を見習うべきなんだろうな。
Okay, maybe it is getting a little political. What do you mean you have to you have to think for yourself? Why can't I just blindly follow why can't I just blindly follow the left or the right's viewpoints and not think about it deeper than the surface level? I don't want to be called a bigot because I want to question why I listen, I don't want to be called a bigot just because I'm asking why trans females are being allowed to play in women's sports, all right? I just blindly accept it, and when a woman gets hurt because never mind. So it's fair to say that to you, art is your whole life.
外じゃいくらでも多様な職業があるんだろう。シュウが前に言っていた、何だったか。
Firefighter.
そう、それだ。無論そういった職種が存在することは望ましい。望ましいし理解もできる。ただ、それらがアーティストと同列に尊厳を持つ世界というのが、俺には想像つかなくてな。
You should make more and worse political dark humor. Listen, the more fucking visual novels I stream, the worse my jokes are gonna get. Especially when it relates to politics. Of course, there's more to life than work, but I'm still young and find it hard to fathom the world. How? Because YVNs? I mean, considering that fucking Amazing Grace linked back to World War II, it wasn't that hard, was it?
今でも、俺は芸術家たることを己の使命としているのは間違いない。その生き方は今更変えられん。
Not all VNs are like that. Yeah, but all VNs are Japanese. And you can easily make a lot of jokes about about World War II siding with about Japan siding with World War II, about Japan siding with Germany in World War II.
ただ、誰かを犠牲にして成り立つ作品など到底美しくはない。俺は今まで芸術のためといえば自分の心さえ押し殺すことができていた。
Who knows? Maybe I'll shit on Assassin's Creed Shadows while I'm playing Master Magistrate.
言い訳に聞こえるかもしれないが、俺はシュウのこともみんなのことも等しく好きだったし、今もそれは変わらない。
Hey, yo, Guido, I didn't know you swung that way. I mean, I knew you did with Yuji, but like...
だが、以前の俺はそれを捨てるほど愚かだったんだ。
However, things have changed.
芸術のためじゃない。食材のために芸術を使う。それが今の俺にしかできない表現なんだ。
It's his method of atonement, expressing his feelings of guilt over his past actions through his work.
ヴィア・ドロローサという言葉がある。苦難の道という意味だ。
Via Dolorosa. Never heard that before. A difficult path.
イエスが十字架を背負い、ゴルゴダの丘へ向かった最後の歩みのことを指す。俺が歩むのは終わりなきそれだ。
He walks a lonely road. the only road that he will ever know. Until the day this man known as Guido Hiragi finds redemption. No relation to Utena Hiragi, by the way. He must continue along his own arduous artistic path while bearing the weight of his guilt. Expressing the entirety of one's consciousness is difficult, even for someone like Guido. Guido's single forever, just like me. Yeah, but he's not attracted to fictional characters.
だからシュウ、俺はこれからも作品を作り続ける。背負った十字架を形にするまで、
Because
お
he
前にはず
himself,
っとそれを見守っていてほしい。
he is the fictional character. Yeah, of course. Until you find peace of mind, his atonement, his redemption, his penance. I feel it's also my duty to see him out through the end, as he toils under the weight of original sin.
とはいえ、それだけではやはり足らん。俺の自己満足になりかねない。
I don't think.
そうだ。いいやり方を思いついた。
Uh-oh, Guido's cooking again. The last time he did that, he burnt down the entire... the last time he did that, he burnt down the entire town. Literally. Struck by an idea, he quickly jumps to his feet. He then gives me a hand up from my stump. Don't cook. Just as I'm about to ask what's going on.
シュウ、
あ、
俺を殴れ。
Interesting. He cooked the entire town. Yeah, he cooked so hard. His suggestion seems to come out of nowhere, and so was the audio crack. That also came out of nowhere. But I can tell through his gaze what he's trying to do. He did mention earlier, he definitely is verbalizing his emotions. His difficulty in verbalizing his emotions. So perhaps this is part of his redemption arc. No matter how many words spill out of it, from his mouth, it'll never be enough to diminish his guilt. I'm sure Guido knows that better than anyone. Yeah, I know better than anyone that the longer I talk, the worse I speak, the worse I fucking read. Because I understand why he's doing this. There's only one thing I can say in return. Are you sure?
殺してくれてもいいぞ。
I don't think he could punch that hard, alright? If that's what he wants. I'll take all my rage from all the times I stood on the brink of death. All of Yune's resentment from being forced to relive that tragedy at the cost of her life. All of Sakuya's suffering, trapped in a moral quandary, forced repeatedly through that year-long loop. Yeah, you kind of forced her to relive it for the last time then as well. I have to see how hard he hits. Yeah. If they can't do that, I'll do it for them. Guido. You fucking idiot! I deliver a solid punch to his cheek. Damn, straight for the cheek, and he hits the ground with a dull thud. I put everything I had behind it, spurred on by the memory of my friends. I hope he's okay. How was that?
聞いた。星が綺麗だ。
Guido's down for the count, sprawled limply on the ground, staring at the sky. Listen, Shu, he's just being nice, alright? He isn't actually hurt. You didn't punch him that hard. He knocks him out. Yeah. If only Shu hit him a bit lower, he would have been able to aim for the chin. That would have been able to knock him out. A shaky smile plays over his lips as he looks somewhat relieved.
ありがとう、シュウ。わがままを聞いてくれて。
I would say I'm not sure why you'd thank me for punching you, but I guess it's very like you, fucking masochist. Chuckling in amazement, I reach down to help him to his feet. He still has some unfinished business. We still have some unfinished business. Guido. I love you. I mean, this time, I want you to hit me as hard as you can. What? Okay. It wouldn't be fair otherwise. That's how I feel, at least.
何を言い出すかと思えば、俺にシュウを殴る道理はないよ。
No, there is. Everything he's suffered through. And that horrible vision of the apocalypse. None of it would have happened if it wasn't for the separate serpent planting ideas in his head. Oh, so he understands that it wasn't entirely Guido's fault. I owe you an apology as well. For your dad? What do you... I'm sorry my dad fucked you over. Because I am Soichi Watarase's. I'm about to confess my sin to Guido. However, he gently reaches out and cuts me off. As if to tell me I don't need to finish.
知っていたさ。初めて会った時からな。
What?
芸術家は見抜く力が大事だと言っただろう。
Guido smiles gently at me, as if he knew knew exactly what I'd been about to say.
感づいていて、俺は何もしなかった。シュウが渡らせと名乗らなかった以上、俺もシュウをシュウという一人の人間として接した。
Wait, so you're telling me that this... are you telling me that shoes... that fuck, I'm trying to link it back to slavery. that makes it sound even worse. Are you telling me that the sins of my ancestors that I don't need to bear the responsibility for the sins of my ancestors? I can't believe this, guys. This is a revolutionary thought process. I can't believe this. What do you mean Shu doesn't have to be responsible for the sins of his father? I mean, what I tell you, I was gonna get political. I got political. But it's my fault that...
そのせいも何もない。この町で起きようとしていたことは全て俺が原因だ。そこに他の誰も入る余地はないよ。
I love it when you get political. Yikes. That's not a good thing. But if he hadn't come here...
来なければというのなら、それはお前の方だろう。シュウが来なければ、俺はただの殺人者としてこの町を破壊していた。シュウが来てくれたおかげで、ユネがいてくれたおかげで、俺は道を踏み外さずに済んだ。ありがとう。
Look, I just find it dumb, right? That some people feel the need to apologize. I'm saying this about like mostly Americans because, you know, they've been conditioned to believe that when they think of the word slavery, they immediately link it back to 1800s America, right? I just feel it's dumb that some people feel the need to apologize about what their ancestors did to people who are also ancestors. How do I say this? It's dumb for people to apologize to the descendants of slaves, right? Because why are you apologizing to them instead of the people who experienced the slavery, right? I'm American. Well, yeah. Guido. Oh god. I'm getting political. He devotes himself wholeheartedly to everything he does in life. Still, I'm not satisfied by just punching you. Punch me back. I like it.
わがままな後輩だな。無理だ。
Don't call him a kid, he's a masochist. Get it right. Pretty please. Listen, I think he's been blown up by Kyrie so much he started liking it. In the end, he didn't punch me. Because he's more mature than you. I turn away my left cheek, getting the feeling that he'd probably feel bad and kiss it instead. You know what? You know what, Dexter? It makes sense why you fucking likely a ban evader restricted.
なあ、シュウ。
Yeah? With silence blanketing us following our scuffle, he mumbles quietly as if to himself.
俺は一人前の芸術家になれるだろうか。
Not Listen, Guido. The only way you'll be able to ever become an artist is once you start embracing your gay side, alright?
誰のコピーでもない俺だけの美しさを生み出せる人間に。
Perhaps it's a fear Guido's been harboring in his heart for a while now. This town's one-size-fits-all mentality that ultimately led Guido to reach for the forbidden fruit. You already are one. I'm sure of it. I tell him how I truly feel. I know it because the real Christmas is finally coming this time. He becoming gay, going make he better artist. No, once Guido accepts that he's gay for Yuji, then he won't feel the need to blow up the town. Because... Never mind. Because the true art of destruction will the true art of destruction will be made when Guido destroys Yuji's ass in bed. I mean... Kyrie, tie me up. Okay. And the canvas of who you are as a person is still blank. In that moment, I forgive him.
見届けると言ったはずだが。
And I will. But I'm not the one who you need to seek forgiveness from.
他のみんなだと。
That's right. I also can't help but feel guilty for everything my father did. Listen, my analogy, when linking back to slavery, it... how do I say this? It makes more sense for Shu to feel guilty because there is only a one generation gap, right? Compared to like slave owners and their descendants, where there's like a multi-generational gap. So it makes sense that he still feels guilty. So in that sense, I guess that makes us even. Let's promise to never talk about it again. There's no one aside from us who knows of our parallel existence. Well, Guido still needs to make amends as far as I'm concerned. One punch was good enough for me. I forgot to read the comma. But Shu didn't do what his father did. Yeah, but he still feels guilty about it. Right?
お人よしが過ぎると思うが、それなら余計に俺はシュウに恥じない自分でなければな。
He tried to stop him. Yeah, that's... Shu trying to stop his dad is his atonement, right? The reason he tried to stop his dad is because of how guilty he feels about it. Good. I know you'll be able to make a difference in the outside world, though.
ならいつか俺の作品をシュウに渡そう。とびっきり価値のあるやつをな。
I can't wait. Guido will continue to create, striving for beauty and artistic excellence. Striving for beauty and artistic excellence. And his own redemption. It's something not even Santa can bring him. Only he can create it. I'm pissed at my ancestors for owning people like her. I mean, yeah, that's one way to put it. But like, what use is you apologizing for what your ancestors did? Right? Like, do you own slaves? No? Then that's the best you can do. Right? Just don't repeat the actions of your ancestors past, and that's the best way you can atone for their sins. You don't need to fucking apologize for what they did. Like most people say, actions speak louder than words. Who would have guessed? Stay with Shu's father. I mean, yeah, that's why he tried to stop the apocalypse, because he felt guilty about what his dad did. Instead of just being like, sorry that my dad fucked you up, be like, I'm gonna stop you from fucking yourself over even further. Why though? Why? For what? For which part? It's something not even Santa can bring him, only he can create it. He isn't his father. Well, yeah, but like, he's not gonna fucking sit around doing nothing while the Aurora gets blown the fuck up. What? Oh. 12/25 Christmas. There it is. Why would someone be responsible for that? If you...
ではこれより第22回聖アレイヤ学院文化祭を開催いたします。
You know what? Maybe
皆様どうぞお楽しみください。
maybe it was a bad idea that I compared the actions of Shu to the actions of the ancestors of slave owners, descendants of slave owners. I almost have to go. Great. Well, thankfully I'm stopping here. All right. Dexter. The reason why Shu feels responsible is because he knows that there is an injustice happening, and it is his responsibility to right his dad's wrong, right? In the same way of, say, your father was a slave owner, it is your responsibility, you know, as a fucking basic human right, to free the slaves that your dad previously owned. Right? It's the same thing. You do not you do not sit there and do nothing while you know that there is an injustice happening. Right? You understand what I mean? Like, it is the same with families. Shu didn't force his father to do that. Well, I don't know if you... I don't think you're getting it. Sure, but... Listen. Shu knows that his dad isn't going to stop the apocalypse. Which means that it is on Shu to do it instead. Unless you're a fucking... It shouldn't be his responsibility for his father's actions. Well, who else is gonna do it? Right? Who else is going to stop the apocalypse other than Shu? Right? No one else knows except Rinka, Shu, Kido, Sakuya. And we already know 3 of them can't. Because 2 of them are responsible for it, and Rinka doesn't know how to. Well, yeah, but you get what I mean. Not really. That's why I used the same analogy I did before, with slave owners. Your dad owns slaves. Like, he isn't his father. Well, his father wasn't going to stop the apocalypse. Even if he was alive, he wouldn't do it. But it's the same thing. Dexter, it is the same way in you saying that there is no point in me freeing my father's slaves because I'm not his father. I'm not my father. He isn't involved other than him being his father. I think I think there's a miscommunication here. What I'm saying, there's a reason I compare it to slavery, because he's feeling guilty because his family causing issues. Yeah. Who stayed out of his father's life for the most part. Okay, but who was gonna free the slaves? Except who is gonna free your dad's slaves other than you? It doesn't matter if you are no longer associated with your dad. Isn't it? Is it not your responsibility to free those slaves? Not my problem. Oh my god. Dexter, do not say not my problem. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll free the slaves. Thanks, but I'm not doing the work. Okay, bro. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, especially about the slave talk at the end of the stream. If you did, a follow would be appreciated. If you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. Next stream, I will be playing more Amazing Grace, because I intend to finish Amazing Grace before I start magic. Before I start Master Magistrate. I just want to be alone. Okay, Dexter. Okay. So you're telling me that it isn't your problem if your dad owns slaves and you... Does that mean you are supporting your dad owning... Never mind. I'm not my dad. Okay, so those slaves will never be freed. But, until next time, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I'm not responsible for his actions. Well, I would free them. See, there you go! Through inheritance. But that's what's happening! Your dad... That's what's going on with Shu. Even though Shu and his dad are different, the fucking how do I say this? The consequences, right? The consequences of what Shu's dad did were inherited to Shu, right? I don't want the slaves regardless. I want to be alone. You do realize freeing them means that you're gonna be left alone by them, right? God damn it, Dexter. Fucking, I didn't know my mod liked. I didn't know my mod wanted to own slaves. Took us forever to get here. I don't want to inherit that. But that's you don't get to choose what you inherit and what you don't. Dexter, I don't think you what are you not getting with my analogy, bro? Freedom. That's why I used the slavery analogy, bro. Your father did it, not you. My father did it, not me. Yeah, all right. I guess Dexter's never gonna free the slaves. Anyway, I'll record Saturn Academy tonight. Bye bye. I'm not getting involved basically, but I would free them. Okay. Fucking yeah.